Hello, hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing super good. First, a big shout out to Loki B for subscribing to me on YouTube. I really appreciate it a lot. Hi, Fishy. How are you today? I'm doing pretty good. A little tired. I was supposed to get up earlier than I did, but thankfully, I'm alright. Just exhausted, you know? I realize that, like, I do a lot of stuff throughout the week. I think that they did, like, the math or something. And on average, like, when people work, like, regular 9-to-5 jobs, like, how much do people actually work in 8 hours? This study. While an 8-hour workday is the standard expectation, the actual amount of productive work completed varies significantly. Studies suggest that the average worker is only truly productive for 3 hours within that period. The rest is often spent on non-work activities, distractions, or administrative tasks. So in other words, I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. Like, let people do what they do, you know? But on my end and the way that I work, effectively just based on the way that I function, I fill every single second of that 8-hour day with work. So I am productive for probably around 6 hours a day to 8 hours a day. So I just get, like, really mentally fatigued, I guess, is, like, the way that I, like, would phrase it. And it makes me, like, effectively crash at the end of the night. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Also, everybody drink some liquids. Any beverage of your choice. I have the Darius tea today, the Vampire King tea, with a splash of cream. It was about 40,000 degrees and I almost burnt myself. That was terrifying. See, I imagine that this pen is also black. I'm doing pretty good. Still a little sleepy. Oh my god, get out of here, contextual taskbar. Oh my god, I selected you, not blue. You little crusty. Oh, and then also, too,
most of the stain is out.
oh, dude, I can't... Oh, man, barely. Like,
Yeah.
I would know that it's there if I knew what to look for, but...
Right.
Damn, rust stain.
It's also, like, back, effectively behind the knee.
Yeah, no, dude.
So,
Well, and, like, yeah, no, that looks great.
yeah. So, I got...
Thanks,
most of it.
Jace.
Yeah.
Ha, I'm in school right now. Shh. We won't tell anyone. Hopefully school's going okay today. Hopefully nothing super annoying is happening. I definitely do not miss being in high school. Like... Oh, wait. Don't forget the other coffee cup. And I think that this is also white, too. Oh, and Bo's notebook. Oh, wait. I'll work on that in a second. Y'all, I got a new keyboard. And it's not obnoxiously loud. Oh, God, so many things make me want to drop out. Well, like, this is what frustrates me. It's like, why do we not give people the opportunity to just test out of high school? Does that make sense? Where it's like, if you reach any age in high school, because like I have a friend who he graduated high school at 16 because he was very lucky enough to go to a college that, or not a college, a high school that allowed him to do a bunch of like test outs and stuff. So as long as you're like meeting the basic requirements, it's like, why are you there? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, I think most people can. Like, that's what's crazy about it, is like, I don't think you have to be like crazy smart or like doing college classes or things like that. Like most people could just be like, I met the minimum requirements, I'm out of here. And then that way you could get like spared the torture, go and get like a job if you want to, or get started on like an associate's degree if you wanted to. And so we could be like fast tracking people so that they're not wasting their time. It just feels like a big waste of time. And then the kids that are like not socially or emotionally mature enough that can't pass the test, they have to sit, and then everybody else can just go. And it doesn't mean you're like worse than everybody if you have to be in that kind of a structured environment. That's totally fine. It's just like it doesn't work for every single person on the planet. Hi, Rhyme. How's it going? What's up? You can graduate my high school with an associate's. Yeah, see, and then that brings up other further issues that I have with undergraduate degrees, where I think that undergrad is the largest waste of time as well. Like, to get a bachelor's is literally, the first half of it is that associate's portion, and it's just high school 2.0. It's literally trash. Like, so worthless. Yeah, for real. Like, yeah, you could be doing so much. You could be applying for schools, you could be going to get work, you could be taking a break year just to have fun and relax if you wanted to, if you had the ability to do that. Like, I'm just like, come on now. I did see your DM, Rhyme. I responded. I did send you a message back. Let me be free. Yeah, true. No, true. Yeah, like, I liked being in college or in high school because of the stuff that I was doing. I was doing, like, IB stuff, though. And that was nice because it kind of padded my high school diploma, which was fun. But I ended up not using any of it anyway. Maybe to get into George Washington University to do my publishing master's. But, like, other than that, I didn't really use it. You know, so it's like, I don't feel like high school is really, like, that worth it. If that makes sense. And it's really good for certain groups of people, though. Like, if you're learning English as a second language, it could be super, super useful. But, yeah, we need a more flexible system that works for a wider variety of people, methinks. Hi, Gamby. How you doing today? I'm also known as the Dr. Pepper guy. It's like wanting waiting for the Super Bowl to see when I post a Dr. Pepper. I can't. That's so funny, though. We had a dude like that was in our my college, and he would just post. Where is this one Nick Cage meme? Hold on. It's this one. It's this specific Nick Cage meme where he's making that face. This one, and he would just post them everywhere. All over the school, and like we never were sure where we would get jumped by Nick Cage next. Like he was in the bathrooms, he was like around corners on the top of doors. Like you just never knew. You never knew when you were gonna get Nick Caged, and that was truly, it was a good time. I'm doing good, Gamby. I'm having a good day so far. I got through a lot of actually I think I want this lighter color here. I got through, it is the lighter color. Never mind, this is fine. I got through a bunch of freelance work yesterday. I had to do a bunch of image creation for a variety of different titles. Because, like, I don't have, like, an NDA or anything on Pubvendo, I can talk about them. If anybody is interested in reading specific books that I'm working on, I know that the authors would definitely very much appreciate any kind of exposure regardless of audience. But the books I'm working on right now are the ones that are like ready to go and have like social media out. It's the 70th anniversary of Emmett Till. I won't talk about that too much on stream because it's just really, really, really sad. But if you want to read a Black history book by a Black history scholar named George Yancey, he's a very decorated scholar of Black history, and he wrote a book about Emmett Till's mom specifically. And it's a collection of essays by other Black scholars talking about the entire incident. And it's very sad, but it's also, like, really, really good. So I would recommend checking that out. I'm also working on a mystery book, a thriller that's more fiction, and it's called Vice and Virtue. And it's by the author Libby Klein. And that one's just fun. If you like chick lit, if you like books with female main characters, if you like classic, like, whodunit mysteries, like, definitely Vice and Virtue is that one. Bye, Aqua. See you later. Thanks for popping in. It was good seeing you. Have a good day at school. But yeah, Vice and Virtue is cool. The author is really nice as well. Let me see. And then if you're interested in spirituality stuff, I'm working with this other author named Steve Fogelman. And you can go to his website right now. It's not complete. I'm still continuing to work on the website. But if you're interested in Reiki and that practice, Reiki is a type of energy work that is from Japan. And it's great because it's like a non-religious, like, energy practice. So if you're looking for something to add to your, like, meditation routine or to help, like, deal with trauma or things like that, Reiki is amazing. And he himself is a very experienced Reiki practitioner. If you want to check out his website, he does, like, free seminars focusing specifically on gay men, actually, and, like, gay trauma, particularly around AIDS. So I thought that was, like, really cool. He's a nice guy. Slapped button. I'm over here now. Oh, no. Crazy. That's nuts. Oh, also, I see your messages, Rhyme. I'm super stoked. I'm really, like, good job writing your book, and, like, that's really exciting. I was here first. Oh yeah, if you want to talk about it, please do. It's really exciting stuff. Yeah, I would love to hear about your plot and what you got cooking. Oh my god, look at Wukong's little head. I'm so excited. Okay, so I feel like we've been working on this damn page for 4 weeks. Am I wrong? I feel like I've been stuck in here for literally 4 weeks. I want to light myself on fire. Hello? Okay. Ooh, okay, I love it already. Okay, it's my own take on the Garden of Eden. I love that. I see with my peepers. Why do I need a D&D shirt that has a beholder on it that just says I see with mine peepers on it, and it's just the goofiest fucking beholder of all time on it? That would be so funny, though, actually. Do you hear this keyboard, y'all? It's, like, so quiet. So quiet. I would wear that, right? I feel. Let me write it down. I'm putting it down on a. Cal, you're a genius. Where's my stickies? I have stickies over here. It's thocky instead of clicky. Yes, it's very soft. They are still definitely 100% mechanical, but they have this like padding to them. I feel like a Beholder is copyrighted by WotC, so they might come for me if that happens. You know what happened to me, y'all. I don't even care. As long as I'm not labeling it as Dungeons and Dragons, like, I don't know how, like, what the best tags to label stuff on Etsy are to dodge the copyright strike from WotC specifically. I have to try and figure out. I think as long as I'm not typing D and D, I don't know. Let me see if a Beholder is trademarked. I think it is. Is a Beholder. Yes, the Beholder is trademarked. So I'd have to have a Beholder that is clearly not the Beholder. It looks like a Beholder, but is not a Beholder, clearly. Like, I need to give it some false eyelashes and stuff. Just make it a cute orb. And then figure out how to tag it on Etsy without flagging the entire, like, letting the entire Fire Nation know I'm there. Right. Legally distinct, all-seeing eye creature. Exactly. It's like, clearly, totally a different thing. Copyright law is insane, y'all. I say as I literally just got a packet. I'm not even joking. I filed for copyright for all of my books, so now I can't change the interiors of them ever. They're solid, locked in. But I filed for copyright for all of those books, and I got like 8 actual fucking packets in the mail that are like, here's your copyright information. I still haven't opened them and taken a look yet, but they're there now. I could whack somebody upside the head with them. A good old thwack. Working on chapter 2 right now, doing 3 to 5 chapters. 1 per page. It's going to be nice and short. Very nice. Yeah, so that's kind of like, well, it could be short story length depending on how long your chapters are, but that's really awesome. I think tackling projects like this are really, like, smart for authors to do, because then if people don't have enough interest or money to buy a full-length novel or even a novella, a short story collection is a great way to go. Like, QWERTY wrote A Year of Creativity and Chaos, I think was what it was called. It was an anthology collection, but she effectively wrote one genre of short story a month. So that's like 12 different short stories, and she sells them all individually for like $5 for the print version, and like I think even cheaper for the digital versions. But they're just great little ways to like read her work without like investing in a big book if you don't have time for that. And some of them are phenomenal. I just reviewed her work. It was Make Life Meaningful or Else. And it's so good. I've only written poems, so making books completely different. Yeah, they're definitely two different things. I had somebody ask me a really interesting question about that specifically, actually, about beta readers and about whether or not beta reading applies to verse novels. And I had to like go and see what the hell a verse novel even was, because I have never heard of that in my life. And it was a novel where you write all of the prose as poetry. So in other words, the Odyssey is a verse novel. I was like, interesting. And yeah, its point being, though, definitely still applies. Cool stuff, though. You learn something new every day. Okay. Oh my god, we're done with this panel finally. Turns out my PC might show up tomorrow. I just look at the tracking. Wow! Wowee! Oh, nice. Chapter 1 is based on Adam. Chapter 2 is based on Eve. That's cool. I like multiple POV novels, too. That's kind of how We Are the Match is going with the Helen of Troy stuff, where it's Helen and then Paris back and forth. So that's been really cool. Nope. I keep missing the delete key because it's in a different spot than I'm used to. Yeah, Wukong always looks good. It's because he stole somebody else's clothes. You know. He knows fashion when he sees it, though. He's like, this other guy doesn't deserve this jacket. I deserve this jacket. Clearly. I am the owner of this jacket now. Okay, and I don't have to do the necklace on this page, or on this panel. Okay, wow, that took forever. Oh, man. Okay, this page is gonna look great, but, like, at what cost? Oh, my God. Okay, time to merge everything together. Alright, so now let me clean this. Actually, let me do this first. Yeah, honestly, Wukong, I think, loves affection, like physical affection, but only from certain people. Because he's like, I mean, he's a monkey, right? And they have like mad grooming culture, like a lot of like physical touching and being around each other. But as soon as somebody touches him, he's like, all right, I gotta determine mentally, are you do I like you or not? Right, it says 70%. Is it 65%? Oh, it's 60%. Just kidding. But if you're friends with him, he'll definitely let you do whatever. And if you're family, that's like a different thing too. Because he's a pretty, like, carefree guy, I would say, all in all. Unless he's having a bad day, in which case, rip, but, you know. Yeah, he's definitely a guy. That's all I gotta say about him. That's it. I think the original Journey to the West writer, or even people who were telling the story outright first, the original orators, did a great job translating a monkey's personality into a person. You know, it's like, what does that even look like? And they did such a good job creating a character that's so memorable and so, like, unique in that way. Oh, I forgot a fingernail over there, and then let me see if I can get this going over here. I need to make sure that everything is nice and clean. Time to do some eyebrows. Yeah, I think Wukong would like going to the salon. Like, if he didn't feel like he was going to get discriminated against, because that does happen to him a lot in this particular novel. Or, like, or not in the well, the novel, yes, but, like, particularly in my version, too, where it's set in a more modern setting, like, he feels like he can't go and do, like, normal stuff because, unfortunately, people are really rude. And then he doesn't want to go to sketchy salons that are, like, run by other demons, because that's awful. I don't like the scale of that, so I'm going to fix it. And then I got to clean up the color. I love how Tatsu feels like he wants to be a part of the party, but he doesn't really know what to do, so he just kind of comes in here and sits down on the floor. And he doesn't want to go to sleep in his little like sushi or anything. He just wants to sit on the floor.
Mr. Man, what are you doing down there?
He's like, fuck if I know. I think I'm noticing a dip in performance here. I downloaded Armory Crate to get some cool stuff going on for my wallpapers and stuff. But I think because OBS is such an intense software, I can't have it on while I stream because it slows way the hell down. And there's no reason for me to have it on because I can't see the, like, wallpaper. So it doesn't make any sense for me to do that. Oh yeah, no, like legit, I think if I had to make a guess, I think this is his first pancake since being like trapped inside the trippy taco. So I think he's having a Cloud9 experience right now. Like absolutely. He is living. Well, I guess I don't need this anymore. And I don't really need this anymore either. Yeah, it's a little bit faster now. Yeah, Aura Sync was really making it have an issue. And I have to figure out... Oh, my fucking washing machine's going crazy. I have to figure out why. Spotify is not a Realtek audio console. I wonder if that'll do it too. Oh, but that means any sound coming out of that will do that. Never mind. Yeah, OBS is a massive hog, though. And to be fair, Aura Sync also is a massive hog. It is what it is. I just want to have fun, fancy stuff. But I recognize Aura Sync or Armory is not doing this when I'm working in multiple windows, so I'm going to have to play around with that and figure out why. I don't know enough about it to make that call. I'll play. You'd think it would be easier than this, and if the app was running, then it does it. It does what you need it to do. But nope, that's not how this works. It ain't it. I'm gonna give this a special color. I don't know why I haven't done this before or thought about doing this before. This is gonna look like ass, but I promise it'll make sense. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't thought about doing that before. That's so dumb. Oh, speaking of weird bots, since that's a thing that just happened, I got the most bizarre set of text messages today. And the lady was like, "Hi, this is Julia. You still looking for a job?" And I was like, maybe somebody gave out my contract work. Like something could have happened, you know, like, I don't know, anything is possible. I'll check it out and we'll see what's going on. So then I texted back and I was like, "Hey Julia, I don't remember where I met you. I don't have your contact information. Can you please let me know, you know, like, who you are and like why you're, like, what contact you have?" And then at that point, she sent me a text message from a different phone number. And then was like, "Oops, I tried to text back via the other number and then the message didn't go through." And I'm like, right. Sure, Julia. Sure. So long story short, she got blocked. Why? Yeah, because sometimes I have, like, people who reach out to me via text message because my boss will share my phone number with them. Like, because that's how I got my web design contract that I'm working on right now, is through networking in that way. But sometimes that ain't what it is. I always double check just to make sure, because you never know. But in that case, nope. It was indeed just a bot. I keep forgetting that this is... I'm just going to merge these layers together. Wait. Oh, this needs to go down here. And then this can go like this. There we go. Better. Better. I'm not going to mess around with hand drawing all of these colors here. I think for the sake of the background here, I'm gonna have this whole countertop be dark. And then the background can be light. That's fine. Gives them a nice little, like, frame there. There we go. Mr. Man, why are you sitting like that? He's sitting up. He's falling asleep sitting up. And he won't lay down. Mr. Man, just lay down. Why won't you... Why are you like this? Mr. Man, just lay down. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can just lay down, dude. It's okay. And actually, you know what? I think I remember why I didn't do this in green. But we'll see. This is either going to work really, really well for me, or this is not going to work. I just have to make sure that that green doesn't poke through anywhere. And actually, we're going to do this twice. This. And then we're going to select this. And then this. And then, whoops. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, great. Yeah, this, wowie, this page. Holy moly. worth it, but damn.
It's okay, Mr. Bubs. Why are you freaking out?
I think he hears the laundry machine and he doesn't, the washing machine, and he's freaking out. Oh, everybody stretch.
Also, sit up, don't shrimp. I was kind of shrimping. That was probably a good idea. Oh,
Nice, thank you. Don't forget to stretch and sit up. Do your stretches. Stretch out your wrists. Oh, I think that's actually an error right there. So let me go fix it after I throw this in. Like this, there we go. And then this looks like this. I love his stupid hair. I'm so glad Bo is in the comic now. This is great. I'm stoked. I'm gonna have to wear pants tomorrow. You're like, womp womp. No one can tell you no. Don't listen to him. Yeah, I love his design. I'm trying to make him less of a comedic relief character. Like, he's still funny as hell. Like, he's definitely like the funniest out of the three of them. But I want to make it less because he's like, because in the original novel he was like this way because he like is, I don't know, like if you were thinking like Laurel and Hardy, it's more of that kind of humor where he's like wiping out and like it's just funny because he it's like slapstick humor in that way, if that makes sense. But I want to have it be less that, if possible. And more because he just is genuinely funny. In Chinese media, there's often like a guy that's the butt of everybody's joke in that way, and like that is just Pigsy for sure in Heaven's Equal or in Journey to the West, but I really don't like rewriting his character to be not that has been kind of difficult. And then he also has kind of a like, I don't know, he's kind of a predator. And I mean that, like, literally not even to put light on the situation at all either. And so that's a very serious topic that I have to cover in this thing. Where it's like, how do you have a character who is funny and, like, he's very likable and relatable, but also, like, he's done some really fucked up shit. It's, like, not even funny. Ew! Ew, this isn't English, I gotta go. Girls, please. I'm okay. Yeah, no, he's done... He is. That's just all I gotta say, is Bo is. Because his whole backstory is that he got kicked out of heaven for effectively trying to sexually assault the goddess of the moon. And she's like considered one of the purest deities in like Chinese mythology. She's like, if there's anybody that you don't disrespect, it's Tunga. And so then he got kicked out of heaven because he used to work for her because he like was the guardian of the Milky Way. That was like his whole job was to keep the Milky Way together. And Wukong shattered it into like 1,000 million pieces, which is why our Milky Way looks like that. Actually, it used to be one solid like band, almost like a rainbow, and then Wukong broke it. And that kind of sent Bo into or Pigsy rather, Tubaji into a downward spiral, and then he took it out on everybody else around him. And then the Buddha was like, okay, so you're going to go to Earth, and we're going to try and make it so that way you are going to be a better person. Like, we have to figure this shit out, Buckaroo, because this is not working. And then he effectively chose to get married and then cheat on his wife and just become like a violent sex addict. And it's like, this is the opposite of what you were supposed to do, my guy. This is not how this was supposed to go. So Bo's character is interesting in the sense that it's like he's kind of a look at like what happens to people who are deeply unhappy and they just kind of try and fill that void with a bunch of stuff, right? Like some people like develop like shopping addictions and things like that, but for Bo it's food and it's sex. It's like those two things. And he's just never happy. He gets better, but... Welcome back! Yeah, when he figures his shit out, it's, like, amazing. But it takes him a while. And in this comic, too, I'm pretty excited. He has, like... Because everybody is, like... hiding something effectively, truly. Oops. There we go. And so they're more monstrous than they appear. Bo is definitely that way. And so is Leon, too. They both have their own thing. And I feel like, I don't know, seeing that shit, Sean starts to realize that it's like, oh, maybe Wukong was telling the truth and he's not a demon because he doesn't do that shit. I understand. I thought that he was, like, lying to me, but he's not. He was telling the truth. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to do some fun shit here. I love this shot, actually. I'm really a huge fan of this. Yeah, so I'm curious. Hopefully people won't be, like, super offended by his character, because I realize that we have a lot of, like... I think there's a lot of interesting issues in literature right now where if you have a character who has done something really fucked up, and even in, like, culture right now, not even just in literature, but in culture as a whole, where if somebody does something really fucked up, like, cancel culture is really intense in the sense that, like, if somebody actually genuinely tries to get better... and they acknowledge that they've done something really, really, really bad. And, like, by try to get better, I mean, like, say, for example, you have somebody who is, like, insanely homophobic and they hurt people emotionally, physically, whatever it is, and then they realize that they were wrong, truly wrong, and then they start to do things like, not even just to save their own asses, but just because they feel genuinely really, really bad, like donating to LGBT charities and volunteering at events or choosing to go to protests and stand in front of queer people, in front of the cops, etc., those kinds of things, it's like we have to some extent like give them the benefit of the doubt and accept that like people can change. But I think in like today's climate, that's not really something that people consider, and there's not really a lot of like redemption that happens for people, which is bizarre because a lot of like Christian faith is that redemption. So you'd think that people would be a little bit more considerate of that kind of stuff or thinking about that. So hopefully this work will touch on that and like what is the actual work that people have to do to get better and to be better people. That's not just a cop-out. You know, you can't just be like, oh, well, I'm sorry, and then it's like better. It's like, no, you actually have to work your ass off in order for it to be better. Like these guys work for of the course of several years to get better. You know, it's not something that just happens overnight for them, and particularly for Bo and for Leon. It's like it's hard ass work, and that's like, I don't know. Hopefully that can come across in this thing. Oh my god, my school's power has gone down 4 times, but they are releasing us. Oh my god, you're like, please let me leave. I want to be free. What the? Why? It's like, for real, I want to go home. Actually, honestly, let me go. Let my people go. Where's Prince of Egypt when you need it? Just saying. Let me out! Yeah, like, ugh, I have some fucking shit to say about. I learned some shit. I learned some Bible shit. I've been trying to process it, and it's like so hard, like deconstructing from religion and not wanting to be like rude. You know, I don't know. Oofda. That's all I have to say is just oofda. Okay, so let me get here. I want to be able to have philosophical conversations with people about shit, and then I feel like I don't want to trigger people. You know, I don't want to make people upset. Let's see. I'm actually going to go like this. No, and actually, I'm going to put this. Can I select this? I can. Do you guys like my sweet Chinese lo-fi? I'm gonna actually turn off this layer. Okay, actually we're doing good. Okay, there is definitely a reason, I promise, as to why I'm going above the line art here. Okay, let me go here, here, here. There we go. Oh, look at that. Cool. SFX or something. Actually, see. I love this pie. Oh, I have a blueberry pie in the fridge that I forgot about. It's like a really cheap Kroger pie, but I'm not even mad about it. It was $1. We went in the middle of the night because I had a mighty need. Oh, time to feed my Snorlax. I'm gonna take a break, get my eye rest. Oh, hey! My Houndoom sold. Hooray! For 12 bucks. I have to keep a record of how much I'm actually selling, so that way I can send my sister some money when it comes. Because we're splitting them halvesies. No, it went out again 5 times and they just keep us locked up. No, that's so dumb. No, I'd be like, we're going home. Like, at what point? Because, like, and then when those, you know, when those things happen, it's like the power company takes about 50 million years to actually, like, fix the problem, too. Like, sometimes they fix it in, like, minutes, but then sometimes it's, like, hours. Like, you just don't know. Yeah, honestly. Like, I feel like, man, and that's the worst, too, because it's like, legit, I don't know. We were literally just talking in here earlier about how sometimes school is, like, lame. Because if that was happening in college, I'm not even joking, the teachers would be like, go the fuck home. Like, literally go home. There's no point in us being here. Alright, now let me go in here with this. There we go, better. Yep, true. Yeah, no, it's really bad. Well, it just feels like a disrespect of your time. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like at some point it's like, guys, like, I have stuff that I could be doing. I could be, like, doing a homework. I could be going home and relaxing for a second. I could be literally doing anything right now, and you guys are forcing me to stay here. I could be going to the gym. I could be going and walking around my neighborhood. I could be spending time outside. Like, legit. I just, what even? I feel bad because, like, I'm coming from this as, like, a person who I spent, like, half of my time homeschooled and then the other half of my time in public school. Well, and some of it in private school, but we don't talk about that shit. That does not count. But, like, being homeschooled, like, if you have the option to do homeschool, do it. Because, like, and if you have, like, a good mom or a good homeschool teacher who's gonna do that, do it. Because, like, the only thing that happened to me is that, like, I was able to get done with school at literally, like, noon and then be done. That was just it. And I, like, learned everything that I needed to learn, if not more, because my mom was a really good teacher. And then, like, we figured out how to make sure I still was able to, like, get friends and stuff by doing extracurriculars and shit like that. And, like, it just prevented me from suffering, in other words. Oh, yeah, right. I need to do this accurately. Oh, why would it do this? Hello? I really liked being homeschooled, though, but I recognize it's not the same for everybody. God, the frustration is real. Legit, I'd be like, let me go home. Is this from League? Oh no, this is really pretty though. Oh, but this is in my playlist already. It's really pretty. I haven't listened to this one that often. This playlist is like hella long. It's like 13 hours of music, so it's like I don't remember what I put in here often, but this is really pretty. Okay, so now I gotta figure out, oh, why am I like this? I'm a fool. I don't know why I'm doing this. I have to put the speech bubbles in here first. I was like so ready to be done with this page that I was like, get it away from me! Can't do that. I'm a fool. Oh, I'm gonna go look at something real quick. Oh yeah, that is coming out of Realtek Audio. I wonder if that's the solution. Hold on. Time to get back to work. Yeah, it's like, no, you get back to work. Well, probably, just so you know, Rhyme, guaranteed, they're also like, I want to go home. Like, as somebody who is a teacher, I'm like, I'm going home. No, legit, they probably feel just as trapped as you do, too. Like, guaranteed. I'm sure they're like, why am I here? Because I would be, too. I'd be like, bro, please. Okay, so let me see here. What do we got? I fixed my settings on my keyboard. I don't know if it fixed it for everything. Okay, so this is going to come out of the side, I think. Let me go look at my script. Okay, it's actually kind of a small bubble. I might do like this one. Actually, no, I need one that's more to this side. Like that. Daniel, let's see, that's not what we wanted. We want back issues. And we want 20. I said back issues, you fool. And then why is this bolded? Oh, it's not. It just looks extra thick. But it's not. Oh, and then there's a big old tangent. There we go, that's better.
Hey, you, how's it going? It truly, my eyes deceived me. I am here to procrastinate. I can't.
You know what? It's true. I feel like we've been trapped in this hell of a page for literally like 4 weeks, so that's kind of what I'm dealing with is suffering. Actually, no. Oh yeah, never mind. I was right the first time. No, why am I like this? Okay, let's see. Larger bubble. Larger boobly. Wow, this is... I don't want that orphan, though. That's fine, it's fine. That's fine. Wukong loving on this pancake is literally the funniest thing to me. Okay. Let me see if this is what I really need something that is coming from the bottom bubble. This one. This bad boy. What is even going on? That is all I have to say is what is happening? Let it rain, damn it! I know, we have mad forest fires here too, Cal. No, it's so bad. My eyes are so itchy and everything smells like smoke and everything's on fire. It's so bad. Hey, just finished chapter 2. That's fantastic. That's so awesome. Nice work. Keep it up. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to move this little booble regardless. That's alright. And then if I'm gonna cover the butt over here, I have to, like, commit. Okay. I'm actually not gonna worry about the tail yet. Well, maybe a little bit. I'll erase it and then figure out where this thing is gonna go here soon. My work is having a mandatory course on how to recognize heat stress. Yeah, right? Nice mandatory course on something that could be fixed if the buses had working AC. Yeah, right? It's like, bro, not me literally blacking out because it's so hot. Weird. Weird how that could be fixed. Funny how we could do that. What a novel concept. Oh, actually, this bubble can be significantly smaller than I thought. So let me shrink this bad boy down instead, actually. And then I'll reposition in a moment. Good to know. Oh, but wait. Yeah, this is the wrong font size. God damn it. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, something looks afoot. It's because it was. Because this is worked at double size, if that makes sense, right? So even though I'm using 10 or 20 point font, which is actually quite huge, when it's actually printed, it's at 10 point font. I'm trying to figure out if I like this song or not. One of our drivers actually had heat stroke, and she should have worked up legal action against them. I realized that. Oh, yeah, definitely. But instead, she just left because, there was pressure on her to fire her because she left in the middle of the shift. But she probably went to the hospital. Yeah, Yeah, she probably still could. If the statute of limitations is not like... Nope, just kidding. I've decided that the song is annoying. I can see where she was going with it, but it didn't make it. It didn't make it. Yeah, if the statute of limitations is still good, it's like you technically could still go for it, but it depends on how long ago it happened. This dialogue makes absolutely zero fucking sense past me. Holy shit. Everybody drink some liquid. Sit up straight, stretch. We got a self-care combo. Don't die. I gotcha. Yeah, I see. I don't know how to reach out to her, though, and it's been a few years. Yeah, so then probably the statute of limitations is up. That makes sense. Yeah, an AC issue. Yeah, and I feel like that's like a classic like bus issue too, where it's like the funding is just not good for buses, and then it's like, oh, okay, so now everybody gets to suffer? And then not only that, like not only are the workers suffering on the bus clearly, but then also too, all the passengers are suffering on the bus. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, and we've got older people on the bus. Yeah, no, that's such a health risk, though. You're so right. Scary stuff. Not even a joke. Literally just super, super sketch. Oh, that's tough, Rhyme. Yeah, that's always... I run into those kinds of issues, too. Sometimes you just have to let it sit, like marinate, you know what I'm saying? Forces of gravity. Conquest of spaces, switching the starlight and silver fields. I don't like this one, actually. I take it back. I take it back. Maybe this one's better. I like its little stubby tail instead. Sometimes those longer tails are nice to get around boxes and things like that, but sometimes, because like this one doesn't really have like a big old box to contend with, I can just kind of shove it in there like that. Like this. Like this. But probably I'm gonna need... Oh no. Actually, I'm okay. Look at that. I love it when it's like the perfect size for everything that I need. Wowee. I'm so glad you like this style.
It's definitely evolved over time. I wish I had the original pages still, but they're with my mom, I think.
But I was working on originally like 11 by 18 tabloided marker. And so I'm trying to like... I tried to emulate that style a little bit. Holy Judas. I'm gonna have to do a double bubble here. With a really long tail. I really don't want to cut off that panel too bad. Actually... Let me think. Poor Tatsu, it's so hot, and he's like laying on his little sushi, and he's all splayed out because it's like really he's toasty in here. It's like 72, so it's not that hot, but he's like, help me! He's like, my beans! I don't like this, though. I just start screaming. Let me see what we got. Okay, thankfully this can be a lot smaller. Damn bubbles, that's just all I gotta say. Okay. Did I ever feed my Snorlax? I don't think I did. I literally just delivered another Pokemon card last night. I gotta go do another one now. Why? Okay. Oh my god, Snorlax. Okay, hold on. Let me take a brief break here to feed this son of a bitch. Oh, I always forget that there's like a bunch of other funky ones here. I'm probably going to need to move this. This is like doing surgery. Let me work on this tail here. Hey boy, did it. Why? Would you believe that back in the day, the way that these bubbles were made was by typing them out on paper and then literally taping them onto the original comic artwork and then photographing it and then printing it? Okay, I'm like, eat, Snorlax, eat. Oh man, a burger sounds kind of good right now. I don't normally like go for burgers typically, but sometimes it hits. Oh, burger flavored yogurt. Nope, not here for that. Yogurt on a burger though, actually, surprisingly. Yogurt sauce on burger, actually good. I'm currently trying to Tetris most of the stuff on my desk into a plastic tub so I have space for when my computer gets here. Oh yeah, that's true though. Burger flavored yogurt is criminal. I can't. That's funny though. I fed my Snorlax a cheesy hamburger curry. Speaking of burgers, he ate it. Nom 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 nom. He's so cute. I pull things. Oh, I'll pull things back when I set up the PC. Oh yeah, no, cord spaghetti is literally that's the worst. True though. All right, the Snorlax has been sated. I'm gonna have carbonara for lunch is what I'm gonna have whenever I get hungry again. Okay, this is where this gets kind of funky. Not bad, though. Okay, good. I don't want my bubbles to look like they're strangled, so that looks pretty... God, there's so much dialogue going on here. Okay, I think we did it, though. And remember, if everything looks like it's kind of stuck in the center, it's because all of these lines on the outside are trim lines. And actually... if I had to, I have to actually bring this down just a little bit so that Bo is not... he's still in the safe zone. So everything beyond that point is a trim line. But we look good. There's no tangents or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now I'm going to select everything on here, and now I can move it over. Boink. There we go, and now I have to move literally everything down and away. Lord. I might switch bubbles here, but we'll see. Yeah, or I'm just going to draw a new tail. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to suffer. Gives me a reason to also clean my desk and maybe, you know, yeah, not have a bunch of crumbles all over it. Like me. Don't be me. Oh, actually, salmon and yogurt do go together quite often. I don't think I've had salmon-flavored yogurt. I have seen smoked salmon-flavored cream cheese, though. So I imagine it's pretty damn similar. I would not be surprised if it's like, yeah, super similar. Yeah, New Yorker bagel tasty. Exactly. I think that's kind of like that's the logic there, is it's like a lox thing. I don't think that would be my personal favorite, but I would not like be surprised if that was the case, if people liked it. Okay, now I'm going to take this and this, drag it up a little bit. God, this is a huge page here. Really detailed shit going on. And actually, I can go ahead and do a different tail on this one too. Give it a little space to breathe. And then move this. Peanut butter yogurt slaps. That I have had, actually. I like having yogurt with like peanut butter chocolate chips on it, or peanut butter chips. That shit's good too. That I've had. Or you can make some pretty mean cookies using peanut butter and yogurt together. It makes it like extra creamy. Salmon and cream cheese is really heckin' good, though. You are not wrong. I still want this to have a little bit more room here. Okay. Doing a bunch... I feel like I'm literally doing math. Alright, this is fine. These damn panels, dude. Oh my god. Why do I feel like... That's fine. Oh yeah, I can't forget that I need to make sure. Oh, look at that. That is exactly 7.5. This one is not, though. That way it doesn't look too cramped. And then I'm going to need to move the tail here, but that's all right. I'm like trying to figure out if I want to. No. This is one of those very rare instances where I feel like I like the actual page, the printed version, more than this, which does not happen often. But okay, when you come back, we'll make dinner, and then I'll go to the gym and break my legs.
I pulled the turkey out for the harissa meatballs.
Oh, sounds good. High five.
Yep, so
All right, cool.
got that. Yeah, I gotta go and get gas before I can get to work.
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty.
Do you good on money for that?
I was going to effectively take a loan from myself out of my fucking the Ent money that I've got. So.
Do you want to just take my expenses card and do that instead?
Okay.
Yeah. It's in my wallet's hanging in the or on the back of the door, and it's the Garden of the Gods card, the purple one. If you want to come double check with me and make sure it's the right card, but like that one's the good one. Okay. That way we can buy gas. Wow, I love living in this economy. It's so fun. Oh, that reminds me, I need to email the leasing office. I cannot forget to do that.
This one?
Yep. Yeah, so go ahead. Just
you want to mute yourself so that you can tell me what the PIN number is?
Oh, yeah. I love you too. Now no one can steal my credit card information. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I'm gonna actually put this down like this and then move this, and then we're going to take this, we're going to 2, 3, 4, we're gonna drag this down just a little bit. Move this up just a little bit. Oh, and then this is going to have to be like a completely different set of panels here, because that's just the way that this goes. I'm going to just grab this one. So let me do this. Grab this, throw that up like this. Almost there. Oh, God. And then I have to start on this next page after like 40 million years of working on the last one. Crazy. I can't find the leasing office email. Okay. I still want to try Burger. Good God. Let's see. I'm gonna actually then drag this like this. This. Drag it down. Do I want to do... I'm going to do another one of these. I'm actually going to take a quick break really fast to put on more water for the kettle. I will be right back. All right, I am back. The song is better in Chinese, man. I love that these folks try their best to, like, get, you know, into the international market by producing music that is in English, and I love that for them. But also, fuck America. Does that make sense? I'm like, learn it in Chinese, man. If you can learn K-pop in Chinese, you can learn C-pop in Chinese. Get good. Be cool. Like, figure your shit out. I don't know. Okay, so then this is going to also have to go. And then I'm going to take this one from the side like this. Flip that bad boy horizontal. And then we're gonna have to just, this is gonna be way too big, I think, this bubble for, yeah, that's what I thought. It's funny because Bo is not a detective, by the way. He's just like a street cop. Do you know why desktop monitors are so large? Because of resolution? Like, what do you mean? Like, are they too, like, you feel like they're too big? All right, there we go. Okay, that was definitely a page. Oh, I guess I have two 27-inch monitors over here, so I definitely am not one to talk. And then behind me I have a, looks like, if I had to guess, like a 30-inch to 32-inch Cintiq. I don't use it personally. It was Jace's, or rather it was Jamie's, then it was Jace's. But the reason, there's multiple reasons for that. One, gaming, especially now that we have a lot more competitive, like, shooter gamers. And most of these monitors, by the way, are not made in America for Americans. These are made overseas, typically in China, Japan, Korea, etc. We import them. Even companies, like I have two HP monitors here, they're not necessarily, like, they are selling to an American market, but it doesn't really have to do with, like, our size standards. If we look at competitive gaming, the more real estate you have to be able to see, the better at the game you are going to be. So when I play shooters, I need to be able to, like, my cursor has to be able to hit very small hitboxes. And so if I can't see it, because my resolution for my monitor is too small, I can't win. It becomes physically a skill issue, and it feels like you're playing with blinders on, and that can be a huge problem. From a design standpoint, same thing, different reason. If you have more real estate to work with, so like for me, I'm working on a 27-inch monitor over here on the right. you have more visual space to actually look at your piece as if it was something that was large. So when you're working physically on a piece of paper, you can visualize an 8-inch by 10-inch or an 8.5-inch by 11-inch piece of paper. And if you hold that up to the monitor, your monitor should at least be that size of that piece of paper, if not larger, in order to produce good artwork. And working any smaller than that is possible, but it's not going to really benefit you from a design standpoint. I'm sure a lot of people have other arguments as to why large monitors are better. And typically, this is the overall. They allow for better multitasking, enhanced viewing of content, which was what I was saying, and a more comfortable work experience, particularly for tasks like gaming, video editing, spreadsheets, things like that. And the reason is because your eyes don't have to move around that much. And then furthermore, on top of that, if you're working with multiple windows or multiple documents, I can stick 2 windows next to each other on a 27-inch monitor and not have to squint. Large monitors also reduce your eye strain, because you're not going to, like I said, you're not going to squint, you're not going to lean in to have to see details or zoom in. It's just going to naturally be there. And then, of course, if you're watching a video, it's like better immersion. And then also reduced neck strain, because you don't have to turn your head to see the edges of a smaller monitor. Using larger monitors can reduce neck strain. And obviously, it depends on your resolution. So, yeah, those are the reasons why. That's why bigger is better, if that makes sense. There are several reasons, but I would mostly argue not squinting at your screen is like the number one big boy there. Especially for design purposes, if you're going to be doing predominantly art on your machine or gaming, both of those things. If you're doing other things like office work, like working in spreadsheets or Word docs or things like that, you probably don't need a big-ass monitor. Like, that's why working on a smaller laptop is fine. Like, my laptop is like 17 inches. It's not any bigger than that. Or even working on a tablet, like Jace has like a Samsung tablet, that's totally fine for smaller resolution. Or if you're comfortable working mobily doing artwork in smaller resolution, that's fine. But I would argue for most gaming studios, like if you're going to work in a studio environment, it's going to be like large monitors. And that's why Cintiqs are so fucking big too, because they have to be. Me too. I also like me a big screen for art. But it does prove a lot of challenges for space, which is what I'm running into. Like, my desk is smaller than my monitors. So if we have like, hold on, let me do some math here because I can do some quick calculations. Let's see. So let's see, it's about 24 inches wide. So 24 times 2 is 48. So that's 48 minus like a half a foot. So my monitors as a whole are about 48 inches wide, and that's if they're slightly angled in the middle. My desk is only 42 inches wide. So you can see where there's a fucking problem there, and like one of my monitors on the right side especially is just fucking hanging off the edge of the fucking desk, which is not great. And that also ends up being why like Secret Labs desk, like the one that Jace has, is like 62 inches long, because your goal is to not have to like suffer and have your monitor fall off the edge like mine is. Like, I am legitimately living on the edge here. Do I need a bigger desk? Absolutely. Will I maybe ask for one for Christmas? Yes, but I think that the desk is like $1,000. Oh, actually, the Magnus desk is not bad. Wait, where's the... No, wait. Is it really only $600? Why did I feel like this was a bazillion-dollar desk? Oh, but this is the one that doesn't go up and down. Where's the hydraulic desk? Yes, it's a stand. Give me that bad boy. Right. Is this desk a bazillion-dollar desk? Guaranteed this is a bardillion dollars. Oh, actually, you know what? It's only $800. I really would have expected more. But that's a hydraulic desk. Yeah, when you're planning on moving, a bigger desk might prove an issue. Yes, exactly. Well, what's interesting, I'm kind of hoping that we just go to Vancouver because I can just load that bad boy up into the back of a U-Haul and it's like, okay, that's not really the worst. Oh, we're doing a flashback scene. So we're working in color. This one will actually be much easier. So let me block this out really quick. I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to be doing here. Yeah, because to be honest, it really, like, I would say it comes down to personal preference with monitors and space. Like, there's so many things to think about. Like, what are you using it for? Do you really need the thing? Because ultimately, like, I definitely acknowledge that there's, like, a bunch of tech bros out there who are like, well, if I don't have my 40-inch panoramic curved monitor, I'm not even a real gamer. And it's like, bro, like, unless you're playing racing or flight simulators, you probably don't need that thing. Like, you're doing okay. It's okay. But my dad, for example, he works with 3, sometimes 4 27-inch monitors. And the reason, 1, is because his eyesight is kind of bad, and 2, he's doing intensive photo editing. But what he'll have on his monitors is 1 will have Photoshop open, the other monitor will have RAW open, and then the third monitor has a movie going. And that's just how that goes. You know, it's like 3 different purposes for those things. So, kind of interesting. Okay, so actually, I'm going to try and do this in a way that doesn't use that much lines here, actually, preferably. So what I'm going to do is I believe on another page, I had a color flashback shot of Wendy checking into the hotel. So back in chapter 8. Where was it? Hello? It wasn't back here. Oh, I guess. I did it like that there. Okay, this is what I need to do. I understand. I know what I need. Does it matter what brand of monitor you buy for your build? Oh, so, no, not for your build per se, but not all monitors are created equal. And really, again, it depends on how technical you'd like to get with your work. So, for example, for somebody like my dad, monitors matter. So looking at my 2 monitors that I have, on my right, I have a 2070S, and on my left, I have an HP Pavilion 27Xi. They are both HP monitors. However, the one on the right, the one that I use Photoshop for, has significantly less brightness and contrast naturally than the monitor on the left. That can be a problem if I'm doing digital art, because if I'm not seeing the colors accurately over here or the values accurately, that can result in me producing less accurate art because I'm not looking at something that's that accurate. My dad used to have this thing called Spider Color Calibration. And I'm not even shitting you, this thing would clip onto your monitor like this. And you would line it up and it would fucking change the colors of your monitor to make sure that your color was actually accurate. It was crazy. These are completely obsolete now. I don't think that they make them anymore, and if they do, I don't know why you would use them when you can just buy good monitors. But point being, for somebody like him who's working on skin tone and hyper-accurate photos, that's really essential to have good quality color and contrast so that he can make sure his photos are accurate every time he is working en masse for batch. Like, we're talking, like, he's sometimes working on kids, like 1,500 kids at a time. So you need to be fucking accurate for those kinds of things. So, that being said, most people's art doesn't need that level of fucking accuracy, right? Like, that's like, holy shit, like, that's like really, really accurate. But looking at your monitors and the brands of them and how accurate they are with their color and their DPI is really important for that. So if you, for whatever reason, are just looking at monitor brands and you're like, holy shit, this gets really bad reviews, just don't buy it, you know? Like, but otherwise, like, pick one that you can fit in your budget and one that is, like, you know, good for you. Like, again, it comes down to personal preference, but I don't think that I've ever heard of anybody having, like, an issue where it's like, oh, I bought this brand of monitor and literally my computer won't recognize it because of the brand, if that makes sense. Let me see. Sorry, I'm looking up reference images. I need, like... Oh, there's somebody trying to jump off. I like how they have nets on this thing. I'm assuming to stop people from doing that. Let's see, Vincent. God, I really need, like, a close-up of what this bridge looks like here. Damn you, bridge! I have an LG monitor in my shopping cart. It's like 24 inches. It's the cheapest while also having the things I want out of it. Yeah, 24 is fine. Yeah, because like I would say 24 is a good size without being too small or too large. And then, yeah, LG's a reliable brand. Just double check the reviews and make sure, because like I think the biggest issue that monitors have is like just having the backlight blow out and then they die really, really fast. But I don't know if I missed a message you. It do bother me. What be bothering you? I don't know what's going on. Maybe my brain is short-circuiting. I'm trying to figure out what this bridge looks like up close. Like, I wish people would stand on it more often. Let me go look at a different bridge. It's a viaduct bridge. Oh, that looks pretty good. I gotta try and get images of this up close. Oh, damn, this is a big-ass bridge. But, like, I gotta try and get a sense of scale. Holy shit, this is such a big-ass bridge. Okay, this is good. There we go. Am I going to be able to work on this? Probably not. Like, too much today, but... Oh, yes. Oh, I see, I see. Oh, I missed a message. That's what happened to me. Yeah, no, it's super annoying, though, when, like, one looks barely different. So annoying. I will finish my tea. Goodbye, first cup of tea of the day. Soon, you will be a second cup of tea. Ah, good. I like it when people do stock images that are actually useful. Look at that. I actually will need this, thank you, sir. Oh, God damn it. Why would you do this? I had this very specific distance between these two things here. And now, of course... I think it's only a half an inch, but I can't tell. I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to double check it later. Let me see. Let's see. Guides. I'm going to lock the guides because being, like, dragging them around is not helping me. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Let me go ahead and turn this off. So effectively, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use this as well, but... Actually, this works out pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to go like this. And this is going to become like a very bizarre panel here. It'll make sense. Pure spite, that's why they do it. Yeah, I know it. Okay, so I'm not going to need the hair texture or the tiger. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this texture here. So this is where this gets crazy. Effectively emulating vector art here. So thanks, free stock images. And then I guess I'm going to put Wendy in the same outfit because it doesn't matter. She used to have a fun little hat, you know? Everybody likes a fun little hat. This is just like a completely different... This comic has like 9 different styles in it. And by that I mean it's got really 2 major ones. But pretty intense style difference here. A fun little hat for not so fun adventures. Exactly. On this adventure, her husband gets murdered, you know. Don't we love it? It really is a not fun adventure. Right. And I don't have any mouths on these. Did I? Hold on. We're going all the way back. Going all the way. Oh, see, Wendy had a mouth over here. I'm gonna give her a mouth. Fact check, right? Thankfully, drawing these particular flashback panels are so easy. They're just like, they're not, I'm not having an issue, you know? It's like, I just need to make sure that these shapes are so clean so that they don't look like cartoonish. And actually, I need to be very careful also too, interesting story about, I'm gonna go ahead and do this on another layer here. These can get merged, but I need to get very careful about certain things not looking like a caricature. Because if you're not careful, it can be racist. We don't need that. Where did I just close that? Nobody wants racism here. And the goal is to only do it in a way that is... Yeah, honestly, surprise racism happens a lot. And the goal is to have it be graphic without... This is not doing what I need it to do. So... graphic without being stupid. That's the goal. Well, most importantly, not only knowing history, but mostly understanding, like, what the fuck a mammy caricature looks like is important. Because that's really what we're trying to avoid here. Because this lady has colored lips, but the best and easiest way to avoid this if you're drawing black characters, number one, do not give them one ultra dark skin that has no color or tone to it. This is fine. This is fine. This is starting to look a little bit better. And even still, I don't know. Don't do that. And then number 2, do not give them literally like cherry red lips that are ultra, ultra wide. That's step 2. I'm gonna like just look at racist cartoons really quick. Oh yeah, no, these are bad. Yeah, because trying to not do that is super, super important. Because what you don't want it to look like is blackface. That's like number 1. Step 1. And I might bring this in like this. There we go. So that way it's not like... There we go. Right, so that's graphic art. Not caricature. Avoid the things, don't make bad mistakes. And if you're not sure, just literally ask, look up the thing and make sure you're not accidentally going oops caricature. That's important. Representation is good, accidental caricature is bad. Let me turn this off, and I'm actually gonna... Okay, so actually also, too, I have to watch out for the fact that I'm putting her in a little hat. Oh yeah, no, things get weird. And I'm gonna make one this week that explains, like, kind of how and why it homogenizes voice. A really short explainer, but I might make a longer video on that later on. Because it is, you're right, it's bad. Okay, let me go. Alright, okay. Now we merge this. And we do white, because she's got like a little hat on. A cute little hat. Cute little white beret on. She's got a little hat. God, she's so cute. I love her so much. Okay, and then... I'm going to actually symbolically put her in a lighter and brighter purple over here. And then... shit hits the fan. Well, especially since ChatGPT 5 came out, everybody's been talking about how AI is going to fuck, how it's going to fuck the writing industry. But I need people to understand that it's probably not. It's going to pretty dramatically change the industry, but I don't think it's going to get to the point where we're going to be like, oh no, and we're going to get just totally screwed. And that's something that people need to remember, that it doesn't need to trigger like an existential crisis. However, we still need to be very, 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 very aware of the fact that we need to work doubly hard to protect our work via copyright and what that's going to look like for us in the industry and how that's going to change the way that we like move, you know, the way that we function inside this industry, you know. So that's going to be the tricky bit, is how do we navigate around it, and ultimately, are there certain parts of AI that we should embrace and what should we reject, you know? So that's going to be the tricky bit, is how do we do that, and what does that ultimately look like? Oh my lord. Oh god. Oh, Photoshop did the thing. My favorite. I love it when it does this. Sometimes I can kind of trick it. Nope, I couldn't do it. Damn it. Okay, so actually what I'm gonna do, though, is I actually kind of want to move this down. And then I can fix the brown back there. We're gonna fix that. What the hell is happening? Oh, Photoshop ran out of processing power to zoom. See, sometimes it fixes itself and you have to just do a different action, but it literally loses its mind. I don't know why. I'm actually going to further humanize her by giving her eyelashes as well, because This will also help make it less floaty face. Oh, she's so cute. No, Wendy. Okay, no, I'm okay. She's so cute. I want to make sure this is really even. I don't do vector art, but if I can make it as even as possible. So cute, so doomed. True, she's fine. Her hubby gonna die, though. Okay, so now I want to go with like a darker color. Let's see, 40. Actually, I'm going the other direction for husband, but I want to kind of go more on the purple side of stuff. So he's got some skin tone variation. And then effectively we're going to do the same thing for this gentleman. This is the first time we are seeing Sean's dad. Look at that. No way. Okay, so now we're effectively just going to put a person in here. Oh, I don't like that chin. Or the neck, really. Yeah, trying to explain the problem of AI to a coworker. They're not malicious, just unaware. Yeah, and like, again, some things are really great. I know, like, unfortunately, the problem that I have with a lot of people talking about AI is that they are very, very, very willing to just viciously attack, like, particularly people in the author community and art communities are very eager to just attack the shit out of anybody who wants to have a conversation about the platform, which is not great. And so instead of having a conversation about, okay, well, why doesn't this work? What problems are we running into with the technology? How do we still use the technology for certain things without totally like dicking ourselves in that way, etc. Instead, they are so reactionary to the technology because reasonably, there are good and valid reasons to be legitimately frustrated, but not all of them are valid. So that being said, it's like we need to be able to be mature enough to have conversations about AI and what it's doing without being completely reactionary in that sense, if that makes sense. There are good uses for it, and then there are bad uses for it, you know? And determining that and being able to rationally have those conversations without being reactionary or mean is going to be really, really important for our own well-being. Yeah, my husband told me that he is probably right that my mock-ups are probably using AI to lay my designs on the mock-ups. Yes, most likely. But Photoshop does the same thing. Or like, I guess, okay, so here's an interesting question about that, right? Is like I have a mock-up plugin for Photoshop that lays all of my books onto my book covers and stuff. That was made before ChatGPT, right? However, we have to remind people to define what artificial intelligence is, right? And artificial intelligence is when you give a computer a prompt or a command and it automatically does a task, right? We were literally just talking about that stupid RoboDog from 2001, the year 2001 in the Discord server. That shit was AI. You have a set of commands. And effectively a list of if-then statements, like if something does this, then I do this. That's AI, right? And so if I am using that mock-up tool to do a list of actions in Photoshop, that's AI, right? And so people are very, very upset, or they're reacting to the video game community for having, quote, AI inside video games. And it's like, y'all, that's how NPCs have functioned since the dawn of video games. If you go back and you play Tomb Raider 1 on PlayStation 1,
You have enemies that react intelligently to where you are on the map. They try and shoot you. They try and maneuver toward you. They're going to try and physically hurt you, right? They have if-then statements that they're following to be able to navigate independently in the game. That's a fucking AI, right? So we've been using AI for so long. And people now, what they're mad about, they don't recognize what they're actually mad about. What they're mad about is these autonomous functions taking specific things that should be sacred to human existence and fucking with that. So, like, should we have AI making art? Absolutely the fuck not. Generating art, I should say? No. Should we have it writing books? No. Should we probably be having these things, again, do creative projects? Not really. But can we have these things do automated tasks to help with math, science, medicine, research, things like that? Absolutely. Bro, we're going to go to, like, we're going to cure cancer if we do that. Yes, we want to do that so desperately. This is what we want, right? And so knowing that, we can't collectively say that all AI is the devil, because that starts to kind of put us into a black and white camp where we lock ourselves as creatives and as debaters into a fallacy where it's like one thing is inherently morally good and the other thing is inherently morally evil. And yes, exactly. We don't have any nuance in that argument. And so that's where that starts to become kind of a problem, is that people are not arguing. They're not arguing these things in a way that allows us to discuss the middle ground, that gray area where we need to be able to say, okay, this is how we can effectively use the software. This is what it should be used for, and this legally is what it shouldn't be used for, right? And having models trained off of other people's books and art, that's fucking illegal. Straight up. That's it. Full stop. I will not argue any further on it, right? It's like you don't take somebody else's stuff and then make something new about it. And thankfully that's where the US Copyright Office has put its foot down pretty firmly, is it's like you can't do that. Like that's lame. Don't do that. So knowing that, and knowing that we now have that as the overall blueprint of what we're doing here and what should not be allowed, unfortunately, the people who are generating AI, they are not creating then at that point, right? Because it's just either one, blatant theft, or two, a severe lack of creativity. And those two things are just going together, and that's just the way that goes. So now that we have those two things in mind, the question is outside of generative AI, what is safe? What is okay to use? What is good for us to use for this technology? And that's really the question that we should be asking ourselves. And ultimately, are you shooting yourself in the foot if you're using this technology? And I think people are so excited with the novelty of it that they're forgetting like what the whole point of a craft is. Like if you're going to go and write a book, for example, what's the point of it? And the point is to challenge yourself. The point is that it's hard. The point is that it takes time to learn to do something, or that it's exciting to do something new. And if ultimately you're admitting to yourself that you, quote, don't have the talent, as per that one video that's been circulating TikTok, to make something, you probably should re-examine whether or not you should be actually making things in the first place, or perhaps you need to find a different avenue in order to make those things, because clearly you're not necessarily you're not doing what you need to be doing. And that's really where the debate is it's like, I think a lot of people are just very upset that they do not have the talent to be able to do something, nor the patience to learn. And that's frustrating to them. Really frustrating. And so they want to effectively get a Disney fast pass to art, and that's not how this works, right? Like, and ultimately the work, like, for people who don't know or understand the nuances of the principles of art and design, they're not going to understand why the art is bad or why the writing is bad. And that's where someone like myself, who not only has experience with editing, writing, critiquing all of those things, comes in. And unfortunately, like, I can spot from a mile away what the writing looks like and why those things are bad, like why they look like that. And there are plenty of ways to make art. Like, obviously, I'm using a free stock image to use as my blueprint here for graphic shapes and shit like that. Like, there are plenty of ways to make art. AI is not one of them. Look at this seat. My nose is all itchy. Okay, so this is going in the back, and then I'll reconnect. Yeah, if you don't have the talent to make it, like, do something else if you don't care enough to work on it, and then don't steal from people who are putting in the work. Yeah, exactly. It starts to become inherently problematic in that way, where if that's the foundation for your work, then it's like, it's not really your work. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Look at that. Wow. I don't like this color very much. I'm going to go down like this a little bit. Like that color. Oh, I hate that sample. Sorry, bro. You lost me at that sample. Yeah. So there are plenty of really good uses for it, and finding what is like what I would consider like the appropriate AI workflow is really where it gets important to ask yourself, like, every step of the way, you just have to ask yourself, okay, by doing this, am I stealing from someone or am I causing negative environmental impact? And I know that that's kind of the talking point that a lot of people are using right now is the negative environmental impact. And my argument back is always that, like, yes, we should be concerned about environmental impact, but they tend to be like, yeah, you know, we're using a bottle of water, a prompt, or some people will not do the research and they will exaggerate and say we're using a gallon of water per prompt. Some of those things are true. Water is necessary as a cooler to cool these servers, right? That's 100% factual and an important thing to consider. Do we need to switch over to green energy as a species in order for our planet to survive? Abso-fucking-lutely we do. Yes, 4,000%. So then, knowing that, you have to be able to accurately look at the data and understand if the finger pointing is necessarily accurate or if the finger pointing is done because they just don't like AI, right? And most of the time, it's option number 2, unfortunately. And there, again, are some valid reasons to be like, hey, don't use AI. But if you look at it, the amount of cows in the United States, they use up more resources and cause more pollution than AI. Now, not to say that won't grow or change, because AI as an industry is a massive boom. That is huge. It will continue to get bigger, and we are going to have to contend with resources like that to make sure that we do not toast our planet using computers. And I've seen some artists make very good satirical content about that. Like I saw a comic the other day that was like, "Aw, I want to be able to talk with my AI boyfriend and write a letter to him because he broke up with me, but I can't use AI to write a letter to my AI boyfriend because we used up all the water." And it was like, that's funny though. Like that is funny, and we should be thinking about these kinds of things. You know, what is the environmental impact, and making sure we are aware of those things while we're using the technology. But to the same extent, making computers uses a bunch of environmental resources. And computers now are integrated into our daily life in a way that we could not remove. There are people on life support in hospitals right now that cannot be pulled off of computers. If we were to just delete all computers right now, they would die, right? And so we will reach a point in our society where AI will become 100% integrated, and we will not be able to separate ourselves from it. Otherwise, it will do more harm than good. So the question now that we have as a species is, how do we, as a group, decide what is morally and ethically correct when moving forward with this technology, and being reactionary and effectively telling people that they're like 100% evil, that they're legitimately evil or the devil for using any and all AI tools, is effectively the same as taking somebody religiously and being like, hey, because you are a Christian, you are evil. Or on the flip side, you know, being incredibly racist or xenophobic or Islamophobic the other way and being like, hey, because you practice Islam, you are evil, right? The same arguments can be applied to AI, and looking at somebody and saying, hey, because you are using this tool as ethically as you humanly possibly can, you are evil, is ultimately just, I think, a testament of somebody's character, where it's like, man, okay, clearly, like, unfortunately, you don't have the critical thinking skills to be able to successfully separate how you feel about this situation and logically what's going on, which has been a problem. Like, humans have issues with that, and we've always had issues with that. I think about literally, like they call it morality politics, or I think about, unfortunately, the way that a lot of Victorian people dealt with their overall law system. Is it was based entirely on Christian morality in that way. And there was a lot of discussion about whether or not certain things were good or certain things were evil, which makes things super difficult to deal with, because you don't know if somebody is approaching you with a moral high ground that is actually genuinely true, or if they're effectively trying to push a moral high ground that has logical issues with it. It gets messy. Perhaps some people have the skill of being a good salesman, but not a good book writer. True. I have a feeling a lot of these people who are ripping off books from AI probably are not good at sales either. They're taking a shortcut to make a product and think that they can make bank from an easy gig. Yes. And that's just a reality that, of course, all writers will face, right? It's, again, 80% of all books lose money. The average author is going to make about $500 a year or less selling their book. That's it. That's the stat. That's just the reality of the situation. And very few authors, myself included, they don't make it past that threshold, right? I'm one of those ones that has not broken that threshold. I make money helping people put something together that looks professional, but there's no guarantee ever that what you're going to make is making money. And the main problem that I see with AI art over AI writing is that the AI art people are making money, and that's where this starts to become inherently problematic, is that they are effectively making AI-generated porn slop, which is really unfortunate. And then they are selling that AI-generated porn slop per image on DeviantArt or by subscriptions by the thousands. And so you have somebody who sure is making $13,000 a month on DeviantArt selling, again, AI porn slop. However, the amount of images that they're having to generate and all of that stuff is insane. insane. And so that's like, that really is the reality. Is it's like, okay, if you want to say that somebody is going to make money making AI art, the reality is that most likely that's the avenue that they're going to have to go, is making AI porn. And that's it. That's all that there will be. Is, and thankfully for me, I don't really feel threatened by that, which is good. You know, I'm glad for that. But some others may, you know, like, and I don't think many like true spicy art or porn artists on the internet feel threatened, because ultimately their art is different, and they probably will not have the issue of somebody taking that from them, because ultimately AI art can't really produce anything very good right now. Like, it's not that great. So they're probably fine. And that's what these people don't understand, is that it's like they think that they have an edge on us in some way. And it's like, no, ultimately what you make is just not as good. Like, it's okay for a hobby. Like, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. But you have to recognize, like, art is not somebody's side hustle. Like, if you want to be really good at it and ultimately make a difference with your art, like, that's not really what it's about. Like, yeah, to be honest, it's taken me 10 years to make a profit with my books. I'd say the return on investment, that point typically comes after 5 to 8 years of writing consistently, producing books consistently, and selling books consistently. So you don't necessarily need to have like what I would call like the mother of all titles, where you just produce like a bunch of stuff all the time. Because I think that that's what the AI writers think is going to make them make money, is that if they just write, all of a sudden they're just going to make a bunch of money. That's not really how that works. You have to have a lot of reach in order to be able to do that, and not every writer has that ability. So knowing that, and knowing that that's the case, that's kind of what the ROI looks like on these kinds of things. So you can make a return on investment, but an ROI is going to be different than profit or being able to like make a living. You know, those two things are completely different things, you know? So being able to spend like $1,000, $2,000 on a book, right? And produce it and make it beautiful, make it marketable. Probably, at least for me, the way that it's worked so far is it took me about 5 to 8 years to get to that point where for one book, I was able to turn it around and sell enough books to actually be like, yeah, that, look, I did it. You know, like, wowee. Amazing stuff. But for other authors, it's different. If you're writing romance and you blow up on Book Talk, maybe you get lucky. You know, but for most, for like, again, over 80% of us, probably not going to happen. And that's the strategy. That's where that gets kind of difficult, is it's like, okay, how do we get there? You know, I've been asking myself that question constantly, is it's like, how do I get there? Hybrid publishers are not the answer for me. Maybe trad publishers will be the answer. You know, you have to just keep questioning, keep going, keep asking, don't stop trying. And that's not really what these people understand, I don't think. You know, ultimately they don't get it. And that's just the way that it goes. And eventually I think they will die off, because they're going to realize sooner or later, like if you're saying, like exactly what you're saying, if their goal is to make money, they're going to realize sooner or later that they can't. And that it's not going to be this like instant quick fix where they're going to publish a book and it's going to be like, oh, I generated $13,000 from my AI book side hustle. Like, that's not how that goes. It's just not realistic in that way. And that's just all there is to it. Like, that's it. So ultimately, at least for me, do I think using certain AI tools is bad? Absolutely the fuck not. And I'm never going to be combative with people in here because I've had people that I thought were my friends be incredibly combative with me when really all I could tell, like at least all I've gained from the situation, is that they were super anxious about being, quote, canceled. And that resulted in them making some really poor decisions in terms of how they communicated with other people, and myself mostly. And it's a shame. It's a shame. So I'm always willing to talk to people about stuff, and most importantly, though, to educate people on why certain decisions are maybe not a good idea, and how ultimately to improve your work so that it's, one, still got the human touch to it, and two, it's made in a way that you're proud of it and you ultimately are aware of the consequences of doing certain things, you know. That's really what it's about, is making sure that you're happy and that the human element is not lost. That people can still look at your work and go, yep, that was made by a person. Somehow this happened and I don't know what happened here. Touched something and it did weird shit. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on this color. Oh, also, welcome onto your other account. Just a little bit lighter there. Yes, ultimately something that you can be proud of. Exactly, exactly. And most importantly, you know that you made with your hands, right? You didn't make it with AI. The robot didn't write it for you. It's something that you did. And that's what matters. Let me see. Let me make sure that this is not a little bit less pinky there. Ah, on my phone. I see. I think I'm going to probably be calling this now. I worked a little bit over stream time, but I really wanted to get this panel done. And it's a shame because I'm like almost done with... I'm going to go ahead and probably just grab all of these pieces here. And line it up. Because that's where it goes. It's like that. So when I put it over here... Let me just line this up really quick. I like these little flashback panels. They're fun. Okay, let me make sure that this lines up correctly. Interesting. Let me line up these palm trees here. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And I may not... We'll see. at least I have my colors here so that I can use this in this panel, this upcoming panel here, and it'll extend up and over, but I need to be very conscious of how this does this. Because I might go like that instead, and then we'll move some things around. Let me just make sure that this guy doesn't go off the screen. And then same thing with this, is that this needs to go down here. There we go. All right, well, I'm going to save this and then think about how this is going to go for my next session here. But point being is we got finally done with this absolute monstrosity. Oh my God. Whew. Okay, well, thank you for some great discussion today. I always appreciate you all. Thanks again to Loki B for subbing to me over on YouTube. I really appreciate that a lot. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow with more portfolio work, and I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.